So if you have kept up with the sneaker world on YouTube, Instagram, or really any social media lately, you may have seen all the headlines about the downfall of Nike. They do seem to be having a very tough year financially, which eventually led them to getting a new CEO. Now, people have lots of opinions about what Nike should do to regain some of that magic, but one big advantage that the swoosh has over every other brand is its incredibly deep archive of sneakers. And lately, Nike has been digging deep into that archive to bring back some really nice sneakers. I got 3 of them right here, and in this video I'll be telling you everything you need to know about the Air Max SNDR, the Air Max TL 2.5, and the Nike Shox Ride 2. Before we begin, make sure you are following me on Instagram. That is where I'm the most active, dropping content on there daily, and I do respond to all of your DMs. It's the best place to contact me, so see you there. So let's start off first with the Air Max SNDR. This is a cross trainer which we first saw Nike retro in 2021 with Comme des Garçons. Now that was the first time I saw that shoe, and I thought, wow, that's a very interesting looking model, but the prices were definitely a bit out of my price range, so I passed on them. But this year, Nike finally gave these shoes a general release. There's already been quite a few colorways that dropped, including a gold one, and also we had a black one drop. But I've been patiently waiting for this particular pair right here because this is the Goretex version of the Air Max SNDR. I live in a city where it rains all the time. In the winter, it doesn't snow that much, but it rains pretty much every other day, and having some waterproof sneakers is pretty clutch. There were a couple of Goretex colorways of the Air Max SNDRs that dropped, including a red and black pair, but I definitely wanted this all over black, stealthy looking pair. The upper on this one is made out of a very stretchy material called Lycra spandex, and on the mudguard you get these reflective TPU pods. It's almost a bit alien looking. The entire aesthetic of the shoe really reminds me of the Nike ACG line because of the materials used and also because of the zipper. There are no laces on this pair. This is a laceless pair. You just slide your feet in there, zip them up, and you're good to go. And that zipper is really my favorite feature on the shoe. Aesthetically, I'm just a huge fan of how these look on feet. It's very sleek looking. It doesn't look bulky at all. It almost looks like a sock sneaker with an Air midsole, which by the way is very comfortable. Normally on most Air Max sneakers, I don't really find much give on the Air midsole, especially when I compare it with the Air Max 1s, for example. But on these, I feel like the air pressure on these is a bit lower, so just look at how squishy that midsole is. These are very comfortable shoes. I mean, I almost feel like a ninja wearing these. I think these will go great with those tech wear type of outfits, like parachute pants, for example. Let me know in the comments, how do you guys just feel about the overall shape and look of this shoe? From a sizing point of view, they do fit very narrow, so keep that in mind. The midfoot for me is very tight, so I definitely suggest going up half a size here. If you have wider feet, I would consider first trying on a full size up, but you may get away with going up half a size as well, so I would say just give it a shot. The only thing that is a bit negative for me is the price point. So these do retail for $200 or 200 euros, so you can maybe wait for these to go on sale before copying them. But from what I've seen, however, the bigger sizes do seem to be selling out quite fast, so just keep an eye out for them. Moving on to the next sneaker that Nike pretty much retroed out of nowhere. This is the Air Max 2.5 TL. This was a pretty obscure model from Nike. They released back in 2006, and in fact you could even see 2006 written on the tongue of the sneaker. And once again, Nike asked CDG Comme des Garçons to bring these back to collaborate on them, and in typical CDG fashion, they dropped 3 different pairs: an all over white pair, a black pair, and then of course a black and white pair. All 3 of those sneakers did retail for $300. However, this pair right here, this is a general release colorway, and in my opinion, maybe even nicer than those 3 CDG ones. And these are a lot cheaper. You can get these for just $180 or 180 euros. What does the TL in the name stand for? Well, it stands for total, meaning total air, because this sneaker was one of the few sneakers in the late 90s that had a full air unit along the midsole. It was pretty much this and the Air Max 97s as well as the 98s. And speaking of the 97s, that is the sneaker that this shoe really reminds me the most of. Not just because of that full length air unit, but also because of these waves that you see across the upper. One major difference on this pair is that there is a big swoosh right in the middle of the shoe, which the 97s don't have. And additionally, you have this extra design detail, which are these TPU lines or dashes that you see across the upper. It is also, I would say, a bit bulkier looking than the 97, so they don't really slope down as much. They do look a bit bigger on your feet. And on feet, I have to say they are a bit more comfy to me than some of the other pairs I just mentioned, like the 98s and 97s, even the 95s. And that is because these have a mesh upper. It is a very breathable shoe, and you have that added bonus of a full air unit. So I have to say overall, it is a very comfy feeling shoe on feet. The only thing to keep in mind is the sizing. Very unusual for an Air Max sneaker. These actually fit very big. I would suggest going down half a size from your true size, from your true Nike size. For me, there's just a lot of room in the toe box, so you can easily go down half a size even if you have wide feet, which is very, very different than how I fit on some of the other Air Max 90s. So like the 95s, I always go up half a size. I also go up half a size in the 97s, so it's pretty interesting that these you go down half a size. But yeah, definitely this is a great option, especially if you don't want to pay that $300 for those CDG pairs. This is a colorway that you can get right now. You can even wait for these to go on sale to get them under retail. And if you don't like this black colorway, there are a couple of general release colorways that dropped as well. And I think this total orange one in particular is pretty fire. Let me know in the comments, guys, how do you feel about the Air Max TL 2.5? And the last pair we're going to talk about now, I was pretty excited about these, I can't lie. If you guys recently watched a video I dropped on my channel, I'll leave it right over here, talking about the upcoming trends that will be big in the sneaker world. I did talk about Nike Shox and just how popular those shoes seem to be getting right now. I see them everywhere here in Europe. They're selling out consistently. There's also several different versions of them, but one of my favorite all time has to be the Nike Shox Ride 2. The only time we've ever seen the shoe being retroed before is on the Supreme collab from 2022, and Supreme did an amazing job on all those pairs. And now we finally get them in a general release version, and the first colorway to drop is this light bone and turf orange colorway, which is just a very, very clean pair and definitely perfect for the fall time with that hit of orange. These shoes do have some leather overlays on the upper, which is one of the distinguishing factors, I think, between this style of the Nike Shox versus the TLs, for example, while the rest of the upper is made up of mesh. And aesthetically, these shoes are quite different than some of the other more popular Nike Shox models like the TL and the RX, because these have a visible air unit that you can see in the midsole, and they only have 4 pods that you see on the heel, so they're not as aggressive looking as the TLs, for example, which have pods all throughout the midsole. Because of how the shoe looks, I thought that maybe this would feel like you're wearing a pair of heels on feet. However, it doesn't really feel like that, but I have to say I do feel quite a bit taller in these, but it feels pretty stable. I don't really feel that heel to toe drop that I thought I would feel, and it's just a very comfortable pair of shoes. The combination of the Shox as well as the Air midsole, all in all, giving you a very comfy feeling. And for sizing, this fits me the same as pretty much all the other pairs of Nike Shox, and that for me is to always go down half a size. I don't know why Nike Shox for some reason seem to all fit quite big. The TLs and the R4s, for me, I go a half size down, just like I do with the Air Force Ones. If you go true to size in these, you will definitely feel some heel slippage, so I would suggest going down half a size even if you have wide feet. These do look a bit bulky on feet, I can't lie, but I actually really like the way these look. And if you don't like this initial colorway that dropped, there have been a couple of other colorways that have been announced. We got this black and silver looking pair, which I think will probably end up being the most popular. That's a pretty wearable shoe. And then we also have an upcoming anthracite colorway, which is predominantly like a dark gray pair. And these as well, I don't see them selling out. In fact, they're not selling out here in Germany, so you can probably wait to get these on sale as well. But really, I've been looking at all these Nike shoes lately and thinking, really? Pretty much only Nike can do this. Pull out shoes from way back, and to the general public it seems like a brand new model that they've never seen or heard of before, even though these are pretty old, obscure models. But I personally like how Nike's bringing these back and giving us a fresh take on them, and I'm looking forward to see what else they bring back. Do let me know in the comments which one of these sneakers was your favorite, and also let me know, are there any other upcoming or recently released Nike models that you have kept an eye on? And please do subscribe to the channel. Dropping content like this every single week, I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and for supporting my content. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.